Welcome back to Weekend Movie.
I'm getting this set up right now, so I don't have to worry about it later. You keep talking. I said talk, not serenade them, Dory.
Weekend Movie. Bros. So today we are watching The Acolyte. Yes, you might be asking, Jacob, are you ever going to do movie commentaries again? One day we'll go back. That is not happening so far, though. I do not have the time. I mean,
No.
this is the beautiful thing about watching The Acolyte. This is going to be what 20 minutes long. Click, easy, done. Now we could spend 40 minutes of that going over Star Wars lore.
You were
Not
here with us
ideal.
last week, as you know, BBY.
Um,
If we ever make merchandise, that should be the first shirt we make is BBY, where were you? With Baby Yoda on the shirt doing this.
we can't use Baby Yoda. We'd have to make a fake Baby Yoda.
No.
Yeah, he's copyrighted. We can't use Baby Yoda. We can't make money off of him without.
I've seen plenty of people use, Wolverine and Deadpool on shirts and, Ahsoka on shirts.
Mm-hmm. And they have
I
to
think if you,
spend. Yeah, maybe. We have a long way to go before anybody gets a merch. That's all I'm saying. That's where I'm at. We have a long way to go. It's a good thought though. If we remember this thought in 10 years, maybe.
BBY is never going to leave
Where are you? Where were you? Was it
because
was
it's always on my wall.
Oh, excellent transition. Speaking of walls, mine is going well. Okay, that sounds like I'm like taking it off or like bulldozing it or something. I am moving, and things, and so the space is also going to change, and probably my background will no longer have posters behind it. This is the last live stream where I will have posters behind my head.
And this will be the first time in the entirety of the Weekend Movie Bro show where it's not just my background constantly changing. For once, he will join in on the fun. Now, here's the
But it's
difference.
going to
He'll
change
do it.
like
He's going to
twice,
do it.
and then it's going to
Yeah,
say
he's going to do it. He's going to do it the one time. You'll see this background change constantly.
he's not wrong in that thought because like my thought process, it's like it will change. The next we should have one more live stream because we'll have episode 7 and stuff. And that one will have a completely white background. It'll be completely white behind me. Whereas this one, and then the one after that, because episode 8, I think we're actually gonna have to watch the week after it comes out because I don't know if I'll have time the actual week that it comes out. We might do a Deadpool.
Keep explaining things. I have to let a dog loose.
Okay. We have like we'll probably end up watching it the week we do Deadpool and Wolverine, and we should be doing a live stream talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. Probably not the day of. I would like a little bit of time. Zachary sees it like 3 times that weekend, so I'd like some time for him to be able to see it a few times before we fully evolve into talking about it. But I do expect us doing some type of review like we did for Endgame for Deadpool and Wolverine for sure. And it would probably be the same week that we end up watching it and things. And to be fair, I don't really know how it's going to work because we especially with us moving and stuff and things. But we might wait and could maybe watch it that day that he leaves to go back home, or that week and watch it at the new place, the last episode of The Acolyte or something.
Do it together? In the same vicinity? That better be a good finale.
I know the only issue is I'm definitely not going to have a couch. So where would we sit? I don't know.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, not really time for my Jacob. This version of me to complain and worry. That's for other Jacob. He's much further along, and he hopefully has a plan. I do not. So.
Well, I kind of already figured out our next show we can do after Acolyte's done anyway, so we'll talk about that afterwards. Ta-da-da.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll see if I have veto power. Bear with
You
me.
do. You're not going to want to veto this one.
Oh. Okay.
Think about it. Anywho, today's episode of The Acolyte is called
Teaching Corrupt.
Ah. See, the other one said night, so I was like, I guess this is night part 2, but no, it's teaching corrupt.
I had to change it. Yeah, don't worry. I changed it. Yeah, it's all good.
Oh man, we're back to dual.
Yeah, dual storylines because they're in two different places, and so one will be about teaching, and well, we can obviously figure out based on some of the information which one might be about corrupt.
What? So one's about teaching. So what's the other one? This is about hanging out, getting a coffee. Like what's it about? Oh, corruption. Oh.
I'm at 0-0.
Same.
Cool. How about we
Yeah.
get this moving? You know.
Yeah, that's fair. So before Baby in 3, 2, 1, boom.
Yeah, I didn't really understand. I don't think they made it very clear. Now that I've seen the fight sequences like 6 or 7 times at this point,
Mm-hmm.
it was his helmet that was making
Yeah, the
the
emitters go out. It's a type of
yeah.
it's a type of material his helmet's made out of. It's a thing from the comic books. Oh no!
What's wrong? What happened? Did you skip the
Start it
recap?
over.
Wait, why start it
No,
over?
because I hit play on just the Acolyte. I didn't go down to the episodes. I was like, it's just going to start where we left off, right? Nope, it started me from the freaking beginning. I was starting to see the crawl pop up. And I was like, wow, no recap? We're getting a crawl? This must be important. Then I saw the episode's title, Lost Found. I'm like, oh, we already did that. So.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself while I dump my donut into my milk. Zachary's gonna fix himself. So.
Are you at 0-0 again?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In 3,
Mm-hmm.
2, 1, play. All right.
Now this is the
That
actual
makes more
episode.
sense. And I'm not skipping the recap.
Oh my god, yes. Let's not do this again.
Nope. He wants a caterpillar. So, I have a theory about this dude now. If you look at his arms, there is a character in the Knights of Ren comic book series, and those are scars that Kylo Ren gives his disciples. Now, we do not know much about the Knights of Ren, only that they are strictly around Kylo. However, Ren could just be a term, and he could be the next Ren, technically. So
The
maybe,
score
huh?
did play. The score did play. Kylo Ren's score did play last episode.
So if that is the case, I am giving props to Disney for committing to staying within their timeline of keeping it all connected. Like they didn't have to do that. This could have been like completely by itself.
Also, when speaking of the Sith, every Sith has a teacher and an apprentice, and one would assume that he still has a teacher. He's all about breaking the rules and breaking the code, which could mean that he does have one out there because he's breaking his own code.
But that would make you wonder then, It can't be Kylo Ren, obviously, because
No,
Ben
no, no.
Solo.
It's yeah, it's I can't think of the name of the character. The character from Knights, not Knights, the High
The Old
Republic.
Republic.
Uh, I can't remember that. I would have to look it up. There's a character that a lot of people suspect will make it to
It's
live
either
action.
it's either Malgus or it's going to be Revan. Like it's going to be one of the two. Malgus makes more sense. Revan would be interesting. Oh, is he just chilling in the? Oh, I thought he was just chilling in the liquid.
Hey, maybe he is.
This is giving me very much Last Jedi vibes. Again,
Because of
the
rocks.
ball. No, just because of like the nature of the area. Again, balls on this show to be disconnected to the sequel trilogy. Like they really didn't have to be. This kind of looks like the island they shot on.
There's a version of Luke.
That'd be
It's in the
fucking
mountains.
insane.
Oh my god! What if the little the little what are they called? Little bird-like creatures that Chewbacca eats.
No, they wouldn't be here. Unknown planet. Okay, then yeah. Okay, 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 okay. This show thinks it's so smart. It's not.
What do you mean?
I know where we are.
Where's your unknownness? What is it?
It's the planet from episode 8.
Maybe. That's a weird ass
Those are
looking creature.
those are the High Republic versions of the birds. They slowly deform into the other ones. If they shot this at actual location, again, it helps this show. So again, this is Rey waking up at the beach. There is a renegade Jedi just wandering along the side of the beach. Now she's following the guy.
Okay, we're back on Kofar. Oh, we're leaving Kofar. I don't really know if it was necessary to do a whole transitional shot if we're just leaving. I don't know if that was as necessary as possible. We could have just popped up at the ship. I think I would have been okay with that. Massacre. Again, with me involved. Fuck. Again, with me involved. Fuck. Did I also mention I'm taking home the killer that killed everybody? No? Oh, whoops.
Did she? She more or less got thrown around the entire episode until she decided to flake off her hair.
Yeah,
she really didn't do much. Yeah, you little pipsqueak, figure it out.
He already did figure it out.
If there's one thing that I always will appreciate and love about Star Wars, ships are so cool. All right, you little pipsqueak, tell him.
Can he understand?
Can you understand Gopher? Do you need Rabbit or Tigger? What? He's not in the book.
We should have live streamed a different night. His jokes would be better.
What do you mean? He's not in the book.
We just catch him on a bad night. It's okay. It happens to everybody.
It's not a bad night.
No, it's okay.
He's a gopher.
I still don't think he's a gopher. I'm still not 100% sold. Unless his name is Goofy and he likes Urs.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Even the ship knows. It's wrong, bitch.
Why are you hiding? Go run. Can you run?
Yes, he.
Oh, he can jump?
Oh. Oh, he got Pip.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact we're just getting an episode and or montage of this wannabe Rocket Raccoon fixing Pip.
See, this is why you always have context clues and keys.
Tyann. His people speak Tyann.
Okay. New language involved. It's okay. It's all good. Oh, is this okay? Well,
This is where he gets the green milk.
he's actually gonna go bathe in that green milk. No complaints. You get a call from Star Wars. So it's going to require slight nudity.
Huh?
What? Don't worry, you're really badass. You're just slightly naked while
No
being.
pun intended. Could you imagine having your own personal geyser as a pool? Also, you'd find a way to put that lightsaber somewhere safer.
He has his own. It's in the pool with him.
Okay. I would love it if the dumb thing doesn't work. Oh.
That's very presumptuous of you that she wants to get naked with you on the first meeting.
Again, well, first off, he was very kind in saying, if you're not going to come in, then let me get clothed. Well, although it'd be really funny if she's pointing it that way and it goes the other direction.
I mean, they are killing off characters left and right here, so.
We also have to remember his that the thing can split, so it's got double. And he just does not give Sith vibes. And yet he killed so many. That does not look good. He killed so many people.
I just seen two ships fuck.
And it didn't look great.
It's two ships fucking. You can't really just be like, casual. Did she? Maybe.
For what?
Oh my god, did the little gerbil thing turn off the power?
The little gerbil thing. I would have laughed so hard. He was just standing behind him like, huh? Pip. No. Thank you for your wish-washy acting. We appreciate you.
It wasn't faulty at all. Everybody did die. I did watch it happen. You got them all murdered because you're evil.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Well,
In
how
a
away?
galaxy really, really far, far away. Cool. What's your name?
I'm gonna go kill these birds that we just saw.
You ever had roasted porg? Porg.
It's a porg. You correct.
But no, the unknown planet is the planet that Luke went to for his isolation. All right, you gerbil. There you go. Get all Dead Space with it. Don't kill the gerbil. What are you doing? She got taken out by a 2-foot furry gerbil and a droid with no arms. If
That
only we
has.
could pause. If only we could pause shows. They are in the most distance of distance futures, and this dumb thing had a reset button. She held it like I hold my controller when I need to reset my controller. That's a little irking, I'm not gonna lie. So
Oh
small.
look!
Oh, they got a baby. And now you die. Oh, never mind. Again,
I
what
love
if
how
I
you
Last Jedi?
thought. Now they die. My brain thought, how did they procreate?
They got those beaks, man.
I mean, never mind.
It's called That's the path to dark. To 50 Shades of Grey.
True.
That's the one she brings up. There you go.
Reading you like a book.
Well,
I mean, it looked like a good soup. A little salt goes a long way, you know. You can't get over the view. I don't.
this is the best this show has ever been. Hang on, let me readjust my camera. This is the best this show has ever been. I apologize for the majority of this commentary. Just looking at the bottom half of my face, it was like talking to Judge Dredd.
Just not school.
No, but his show, man, God the huy. Are you all caught up on The Boys?
Oh, I am not. No, we're 2 episodes behind.
Oh boy, you're in for a treat.
I heard rumors about the
Dude, you have no idea.
I was told multiple times to not watch it with Mom and Tim.
No. The episode 5, sure, go for it. Episode 6, no. Just no. Let that you and be at Dwayne's first time at your apartment thing. By yourselves. Secluded. With no one around.
See, that makes me more intrigued.
It should. Let's just say their version of Batman is freaky.
Is this the most The Boys?
This is on par with the house from last season.
You can say it.
The orgy house.
Herogasm.
Yeah, it's on par with that.
Not too bad.
But with only 3 people. It's
When you first met. Well, it's a Pip. It's not the Pip Jordan. Well, two very different siblings is all I'm going to say. One stuck her finger in its butt, the other did not.
Sorry. That brought up another thing from the show. This show, obviously. But the other one. Excuse me.
Oh my. We killed it.
All right, I'm good. Okay. Oh, I got that out. Got a good time. Good.
Oh my word. They're really going to make us wait to this final episode, aren't they? For us to get a linger. And it's just going to be a tease. And they're like, you want a season 2?
No.
Damn. That's kind of crazy.
And that's how we knew. Oh, no. He told him. He speaks Taiyan. Guess what? It's gonna be May. I'm proud of that one. That's what I feel like he said to him. Guess what? That's gonna be May.
I'm tired.
What the? That's so funny. We're here to find you. Shit, you left. Sorry.
What an interesting ship design.
The High Republic's not really known for its ships, clearly. Yeah, they all got stung by giant horse flies.
Here's the thing. A lot of people also have a theory, because Zachary is correct about the whole Sith thing, is that a lot of people believe that everybody in this show will die.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the green girl, she doesn't die. She's part of the comics. And then also, there's a guy in the first episode, he's a part of the council, who the species that he is or whatever lives for like hundreds of years. And so he's a copycat of a character.
He's referring to Kiade Moody, a.k.a. Carrot Top.
Yeah, Carrot Top, right. So, logically, it would make sense that the people in the show will die because the Sith won't continue on past this point, except in secret, which is why they've never been talked about, which is why this is a story that's never been told before, because no one lived to tell the tale.
Exactly, and so that still makes Maul a president in episode 1.
Yes, which is why it is somewhat their first time ever seeing a Sith before, because of that.
I don't know how I got
Unless they're really gonna fuck with the lore, and then I got nothing for you. But a lot of people
we've got 2 episodes left.
A lot of people are hoping that's going to go that way instead, that everybody's going to die or get so traumatized that they go into a deep slate of.
Do the Rogue One and kill everybody.
Yeah,
it just makes more sense. You don't want anybody to be left behind, because anybody left behind right here will be dead anyway by the time we get to the rebellion. They'll all be dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, either kill them off now or give them reasons into new lore if you want to, but they're going to be dead and or old. And I doubt you want to deal with these characters moving forward because of how much criticism the show has had. Flesh them out here, get rid of them, be done with it. And I hate saying that, but that's the vibe that I always get. That's the vibe I get from everybody, is that everybody, is now intrigued with the show because of episode 5, but they kind of want the show to be done. So it's like, pick and choose your fight at that point.
The action is just really cool.
The action is the hard point of the show. I hope the finale gives us a really good lightsaber duel between somebody.
Oh.
Daphne Keen's final role.
You can definitely see why she got casted in Logan at such a young age. Her deathless eyes really match his own. Okay.
One of the most useless characters in Star Wars. I still think she's going to be in Deadpool, which is probably why she's not in the show as often as we thought she was going to be. Do you?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to touch Logan with a 10-foot pole.
Well, no, they don't have to touch Logan, but they can go to a different
I
reality where she's there. The only reason I always bring her up is because of the line that Logan says in the trailer, like, "Trust me, kid, I'm no hero." I don't think he's talking to Wade.
don't know. I just
He could also be talking to Kidpool for all I know. He could be talking to a kid version of Deadpool, which would be fucking insane. That wouldn't be in the insane one. If Deadpool shows him in this movie, oh boy.
oh, you have the whip.
A dark guy in a dark hood called a, what's he called again? Sith. It's like part
What
of
is
your
the
world,
word? I feel
but it's
like
like
I know a word. I think I know a word for this. What is that? Oh, it's on the tip of
kill
my. A bad jet. What is a bad jet? Have we talked about this?
killing untold. No more mistakes, no younglings untold. All they do is die. Sure. Red lightsabers and all.
Oh,
Well, obviously.
you glowed. I have to wonder if Soul is going to be end up being the villain. But also, I feel like the whole point of this show is to discuss the morally gray
Yeah.
and what that looks like for a Jedi, which has been discussed before. I just don't think it's popularly discussed. I should say.
The only gray Jedi that's ever popularly discussed in Star Wars, and that's where the episode ends.
No, there's more.
No, Jake. Oh, hey, nah, I was wrong. Sorry. I just expected the show to just cut off there because show.
Oh, don't worry. I don't think there's much after this. We're getting to the point where the credits, tend to play for the last 7 minutes.
But the morally gray Jedi everybody talks about is, Ahsoka, because she is a gray Jedi.
So I'm gonna.
When you really look at this show, this is just Ahsoka's origin story, except it went a different path. The helmet's a really cool design.
It's really interesting. Now don't start making out with it. It would be weird.
Also, do you see the design? Very Kylo Ren-esque.
Damn, he did all that fighting with that little.
I like that. That's really good.
It's
Okay.
evolving.
It, with 2 episodes left, as Disney Plus does, again, I'm sorry about the camera.
He's having a hard
but
time today.
but okay. So unlike last week, there wasn't much to talk about, so we had BBY. This week we actually have stuff to discuss. So
Not a
let's
lot, but
not a lot, but let's
something.
discuss. But let's discuss what we can discuss. First off, the purple lightsaber, the whip. Everybody was going effing crazy about this whip thing, right? That is the shot from the trailer of it being used. I don't think that thing gets used again.
I kind of hope it does. I hope we do have like one little bit with it. I do. That is a hope, but who really knows?
The stuff with, are we just calling him the stranger still? I guess we
I
don't know
could.
his
I
name.
probably do have. Give me a second. He did mention a name. Okay, still has the stranger there. So we'll go with the stranger for right now, for sure.
The stuff between the stranger and OSHA was my favorite part of the episode. That was the strongest part of the episode, in my opinion. I thought,
Yeah.
I do not know the actor's name, the actor who plays him from The Good Place.
Oh, Mandy. Ch- Janiko, I think it's how you pronounce it. I'm not entirely sure.
This is one of my favorite roles of his. In the short time we had him on screen, it's just, it feels like from the beginning of the show to where we are now, he's had like almost a full arc, and we're getting to know more about him. Um, However, when you watch this as a Star Wars fan, you can clearly see where the creator of this show really liked the sequel trilogy and wanted to do more with what that was talking about. Whereas also she was a fan of the Clone Wars and wanted to use this gray Jedi moral thing that brought in within that show. And kudos to her because she's doing interesting things with it. But it just sucks that the other half of this episode, which was the Soul, May, and Coruscant stuff, I found boring.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. It was more of us just like walking a couple paces, about to say something, instantly changes. About to walk a
Mm-hmm.
couple more paces more. Fucking Basil had more screen time in this episode, and he did more in this episode than Soul or May did. Um, I'm not gonna fault the actress who plays both Osho and May, but it feels like the showrunner wanted to do more with Osha, and it feels like May is definitely on the sideline to me. Like I really don't care about May. I don't care about what she's going through. Whereas with Osha, they are doing a very good job developing her of the why she feels the way she does, and ultimately, I agree with you of her
Mm-hmm.
going to the dark side. It makes sense. Her path is on that direction. If May does a turn and becomes a good guy, it's going to feel forced to me. It won't work at all. And what you were talking about Soul at the end of the episode, if Soul ends up being the main bad guy of this show, I understand what you're talking about morally gray line about what Jedi's are. It
Mm-hmm.
still doesn't feel like an oh shit thing. Like it doesn't need to be an oh shit thing, but it doesn't feel like the show's earned it
Mm-hmm.
because I don't feel like we've had enough conversations with Soul. So by the time we get this conversation between Meg and Soul, the it's gonna be an episode of conversation, and then he's gonna become a bad guy, fight, and then ultimately die.
Yeah.
So it's like, what was the point? Like, if you're gonna do this, then commit to it and give us and then give us this conversation by this point, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Uh,
I think that makes sense.
the actress who plays I know we've talked about her before. The lady who plays the Green Jedi,
Oh, yep.
I can't get behind her. She's doing the best she can with what she has, but she is just her acting. The acting from everybody on the Jedi Council is not good. I'm not liking anybody from there. They're all very static, very wooden, not a lot of emotion going on. In my opinion, Soul, the Stranger, and Osha have the most visible story
Mm-hmm.
of this show. And in some ways, I'm happy that they got rid of Yord, of Jecki, and these other characters because I feel like they were holding the show back, not in a bad way per se, but it just felt like we were focusing so much on these groups that we really should have been focusing on Soul, the twins, and the Stranger. That should have been the whole goal of this show. Um, that being said, the stuff they're talking about with the dark side is very interesting. I've never been this interested in the dark side before because we never really have a chance to delve into it. But I think they're doing a really good job delving into it. The conversations again were really good. Overall, this is probably my favorite episode of the season so far. Having my issues
Okay.
aside, it's just the conversations between Osha and the stranger were just really, really, really strong. And it makes me intrigued to see where we're going to go ultimately with the story. I'm actually rooting for the Sith in this case scenario, which I find very interesting. But that's my take on this one.
I feel like I have a very similar one to Zachary. I feel like the pacing is still the biggest issue with this show and most Star Wars shows in general. Um, okay. uh, like logically speaking, like it has to hit the right mark, and having an action-filled episode and not having and going backwards and not having like that same exact like pacing. I don't know. I feel like the pacing is the worst part. And I don't once feel like if I was binge watching this, if I would feel the same way in that regard. But for this point in time, I do feel like this. Also, I think it's very frustrating. As much as we applauded the show for showing a flashback so early on, not having enough
Then wasn't
episodes
it
to show the true actual events in that flashback, because I feel like we are going to go back to that moment again to show what
for sure?
actually happened, but it's gonna be really fast. I feel like we're not gonna feel like it was like earned or anything. And honestly, I feel like a lot of things here have not felt earned. The writing has been very
Hit or
skinny.
miss.
You know, it's been very, very, very flat for a lot of characters and a lot of actions and stuff. And I love the cast. I'm a big fan, and I wanted to do well because of that, which we've already talked about and things. But when you create a bad show, I mean, that's just really what it comes down to. And I'm not saying this is it's not. I don't think it's unwatchable.
No.
I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan either. So small things don't piss me off. But I
Again,
feel like it is a
I
missed
still enjoy the Book
opportunity.
of Boba Fett. This
Yeah,
is not
that's
unwatchable.
unwatchable. Yeah, don't know about that one. But
I agree with you though.
I just feel like it's a missed opportunity and somewhat frustrating because it is such a cool concept. And going back to this particular set of world and things is also so cool. And doing nothing really with it is, I think, the frustrating part. It just feels like Star Wars. It doesn't feel unique. It doesn't feel like it's
No.
not a part of a different part of Star Wars.
When you look at this show and it wanting to feel different because it's set in a new era, you can set things in different eras of different timelines and it still feels the same. What is Star Wars from the get? We are dealing with the light side and the dark side. There are two twins in the middle of all of it. There's a master who regrets what he did. There is a dark side user who does not know what he wants to do with his power, but wants to have someone there by his side. And there's a council who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. This is the prequels all over again.
Yeah.
It's the prequels, it's the original trilogy, and it's the sequels. It's all of Star Wars mixed into one.
And
They
I
cherry
guess
pick what they wanted to use, and it's not what they chose is not working together.
also having had experience with this period of time, seeing parts of periods
It's
of like
fascinating.
it is a very different vibe. I mean, the graphic novel is a very different vibe and things. It is. I mean, I understand wanting to create a series that's dark and to explore the darker side of Star Wars. I just don't necessarily know if I would have done it here at
No,
this point in time, because everything I've read, at least in this world with these graphic novels, and I read one of the novels as well, it really is a celebration, which I think is what pissed a lot of people off. If you're familiar with this period or whatever, a celebration of the Jedi. It's a celebration of a time in the world of Star Wars
they're
where
not
there's not
stupid yet.
they're running around, and it's basically a job is essentially what they have. They are the protectors. They are, and it really is a celebration of that. And then you get to progress into Knights of the Old Republic and things like that, where you get to see the fall of what this
This
once was, and just showing the darker side of it is not showing the part that made this section so unique and things.
this show needed to be set during the Knights of the Old Republic era. It did not need to be set during the High Republic era because at that point in the Star Wars lore, The dark side is more prevalent. It is more interesting to get into those conversations. Bounty hunters are afoot when it comes to the Sith. There's so much more intriguing things you can do with this story set in the Old Republic. Here's a way I can explain it as well, because I'm wearing the shirt, so I can kind of use this. The High Republic is supposed to be like the 1978 Christopher Reeve Superman. High joy up there. Everybody's happy. Everybody wants to be saved by Superman. Everybody loves Superman. They love him.
Yeah.
And then when you look at Man of Steel, he's an alien. No one wants to be around him. He's darker. He's more mature. He's not really dealing with that stuff. This show wants to be both Christopher Reeve and Henry Cavill, but they can't find their middle ground to be the Superman that they want to be. With this show, it wants to be the more darker stuff with the sequel trilogy, whilst having that fun, whimsical time of the original, and thus also plucking things from the middle, which was the prequel trilogy. But the things they're wanting to mesh together, like I said earlier, is not wanting to mesh. There shouldn't have been twins in this. I think twins was a really, 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 really bad idea. I don't think the twins thing is working particularly well.
I
And
also don't think the twins thing is playing out as beautifully as it could have, because I think it's a really cool concept,
it
and the
is.
few things
Star
that
Wars has done it well twice.
yeah, the few things we have learned about twins in the Star Wars universe is also very cool, which is why I'm back with my yin and yang thing, but they're not really doing it. I
No.
mean, it's just not really well written for it to be done justly.
And
Also,
people are
there's
going
just
to
not enough
find
time.
No, and people are going to find this kind of, insulting to Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Master Soul is Obi-Wan. He is that neglected Jedi who realizes the mistakes that he made and wants to kind of redeem himself for that, because in episode 4, Obi-Wan's entire mission is to redeem himself for what happened with Anakin. And in this case, it's Soul it's trying to get back his redemption, what happened with Osha and May. And so it feels like, while being in a new setting, they're still treading the same track that Star Wars continuously treads. And that is why I still think to this day, of all the Star Wars shows, and you haven't watched this one, so you don't know what's going on. Andor is still the most Star Wars show that they've put out besides Mando, because Mandalorian season 1, not season 2, Mandalorian season 1 took risks. It took jumps that Star Wars hasn't made in a long time. And it did things with lore that is interesting. Whereas Andor took Star Wars in the mature route that the show wants to go. It dealt with complicated things that Star Wars never really talks about. And its writing and its character development was there the entire time from beginning to end. So far, in 6 episodes of this show, we have had minor character development with 1, major development with 2, and a story that does not know what it wants to do from the get.
Once again, I'm not 100. I'm not going to talk shit just yet about the story. We'll talk more about it once the season is over. We don't know everything, and so it's. I mean, so far I don't have a lot of confidence in what's going to come, just based on what I have seen. But it's definitely, I don't know. I would say the biggest issue so far I'm having right now is pacing. I think that is the biggest issue, and the fact that a lot of it, you have interesting things that are happening, just not with interesting people.
I completely agree. I completely agree. I wanted this to be the different thing that gets fans back on the Disney Plus wagon with Star Wars, and it just isn't.
It's that is not
And
this.
it's not this. And unfortunately, I think Skeleton Crew is not going to be the one to get everybody
No, no,
either.
I don't think so either. No.
It's just they need. I honestly think after Skeleton Crew, they need to take a break from the shows, focus on feature length movies, get another one back in theaters, get people on your good graces again. And again, I want to believe that it'll do it. I don't think Mandalorian and Grogu is going to do that either.
Maybe. I don't know. Either way, that's the Acolyte episode 6. Let's go ahead and pop that off there, and I'll put you over on Zachary. Zachary has a beautiful outro for us. He's been rehearsing it all week, waiting for this exact moment to give it to you. So here he is.
Thank you guys very much for liking, right, and subscribing. Please hit the comment. Thanks
Get
for
off the
rating.
screen! Why are you here? What are you doing? What are you? Oh. See, sometimes bullying does work. I think he's saying the outro without us hearing the outro, which is a weird thing.
Like, rate, subscribe, hit the comment section. Let us know what you thought about the Acolyte season 1, Acolyte episode 6. Teach Corrupt. I'm not calling it season 1 because I don't think it'll be a season 2. Let us know what you thought of the show down below. What are you thinking about the show? Obviously, keep it civil, people. Civil. And just in general, thank you. I usually don't say this a lot in the outros, but I just want to give this a really big thank you to guys for watching these shows with us. This has probably been my favorite thing we've done on the channel in a long time. It's brought some really cool things, and I can't wait to continue to do this part of the WMB stuff with you guys. And we will continue on, obviously, to do so as we find new shows to watch together that we find intriguing, different, and unique. But as always, again, like, rate, subscribe, comment section. We'll see you guys later for episode 7. Dual episode or singular title? Ooh. And will it be BBY? Find out next week. I'll see you guys later. Jacob, end that stream.